If Eminem's mum wanted to, she could probably make a good amount of money selling her own spaghetti sauce. He made a pop-up at Coachella called Mum's Spaghetti. The line was too long for me to try it, but I heard good things. I lined up for ages, got sore and had to carry everyone else's because their hands were full, knees weak, arms are heavy. Did people have vomit on their sweater already? Saw one guy try to capture it, but he just let it slip. He had one shot. Excellent shower thought. Lamps in video games use real electricity. Most people know so little that if they were transported 200 years into the past, they wouldn't be able to invent anything any quicker. Send a wedding invite to every billionaire you can find an address for, as there's a good chance their assistants just send you a gift without ever confirming who you are or if their boss knows you. We live at the bottom of an ocean of air and lack the ability to swim in it. A circle is a shape, a letter, and a number. Coffee makes you hyper, but coffee shops are designed for people to chill, whereas alcohol is a depressant, but bars and clubs are designed for people to be energetic. Night before a day off is more satisfying than the actual day off. What if your debit credit card had a yearly wrap-up like Spotify? You bought 243 Crunchwrap Supremes in 2019, you frequented Taco Bell at 2 a.m., you spent $753 on coffee this year. Maybe deja vu is what happens when your timeline momentarily syncs up perfectly with an alternate timeline of yourself, which is why you feel like this has happened before. Nobody cares if their deodorant is 24-hour or 48-hour, they are still going to apply it once a day. The horrifying possibility that any night you can have a dream that builds its own universe with characters and people you genuinely love and become emotionally connected to, then you'll wake up and it all never existed. When a starving predator is chasing prey, they are both running for their lives. When someone gives you gum at school, it's either a sign that they respect you, or that you have bad breath. When I'm at a friend's house, I have no problem with helping them do the dishes, but when I'm home there is literally nothing else I hate more than doing them. Everyone always looks at earlier humans as primitive and dumb, but they did everything right to make sure our species succeeded. When you're a kid you don't realize you're also watching your mum and dad grow up. Me, hi, can I get an ice cream cone please? McDonald's worker, are you in the right headspace to receive information that could possibly hurt you? Without that little voice in your head you wouldn't be able to read this. Both concrete and glass are mostly made of sand, which makes skyscrapers just really tall sandcastles. Monopoly would be more realistic if the person with the most money got to change the rules whenever they liked. Smoking kills you, but the actual act of smoking is a very healthy practice. Leave a stressful environment, go outside for 5 minutes and take deep breaths. In SpongeBob there are times when SpongeBob goes to work and Patrick is already there eating a Krabby Patty. This implies that there is another chef that works before SpongeBob. The tallest person in the world has physically experienced being the exact height of every other person in the world at some point. I remember when I was your height, back in my height. Whoever created the tradition of not seeing the bride in the wedding dress beforehand saved countless husbands everywhere from hours of dress shopping and will forever be a hero to all men. Damn, this got big. Kids today will never know the excitement of waking up at 6 a.m., pouring a mixing bowl full of cereal and binge-watching hours of cartoons on Saturday morning. It must suck to be an air conditioner repairman. You spend your day working in buildings that have no air conditioning. When it's fixed and finally cool, you leave. The biggest flex is using mobile data in your own home because the Wi-Fi is being slow. Anxiety is like when video game combat music is playing but you can't find any enemies. 11 babies have been born in Antarctica and none of them died as infants, meaning Antarctica has the lowest infant mortality rate at 0%. You never realize how little you know about someone until you have to buy them a birthday present. The best thing about babies is they have no idea what's going on. I was holding my baby and trying to eat, but I dropped a little piece of lasagna on her and didn't have a free hand to wipe it off, so I just leaned over and ate it off her head. She has no clue what I did. There are two types of car owners. The first is upset when it rains because the rain is getting their car dirty. The second is happy when it rains because the rain is getting getting their car clean. I'll do a lot of things for, but admitting to my mum I'm cold when she told me to bring a jacket is not one of them. College students are simultaneously stereotyped for not getting enough sleep and for sleeping all the time. Your future self is talking shit about you. The first person who inhaled helium must have been so relieved when the effects wore off. Have you ever had a conversation with someone and thought, this person isn't normal? That moment when your ear suddenly clears and you realize it was blocked for some time gives you such a sudden appreciation for your hearing. During a nuclear explosion, there is a certain distance of the radius where all the frozen supermarket pizzas are cooked to perfection. Most people know so little that if they were transported 200 years into the past they wouldn't be able to invent anything any quicker. The sentence "don't objectify women" has women as the object of the sentence. There's nothing better than when you're full on laughing with someone and you both keep adding things that make it funnier and you can barely breathe. Growing up is being able to eat McDonald's whenever you want and then realizing why your parents didn't let you eat McDonald's whenever you wanted. Normal person: 9 plus 6 equals 15. Me: if 10 plus 6 is 16 and 9 is 1 less than 10, then 9 plus 6 must be 15. If you had the ability to read minds, you'd probably be overwhelmed by all the songs stuck in people's heads. Somebody at Google was just like, yay, just have someone drive down every road on fucking earth. And you know what, they did it. You all ever notice when you lose the remote you lose trust in everyone? Are you sitting on the remote? No, stand up. The spiders that live in Buckingham Palace now are probably the descendants of the spiders that lived there during Victorian times. It's a whole parallel royal family but with spiders, am I right? Biting your tongue while eating is a perfect example of how you can still screw up even with decades of experience. Travel without sharing it on social media. I ain't gonna sit on an island sipping on cocktails without letting the haters know. The most unpleasant feeling is that of washing your hands and your sleeves are slipping down your wrist. There is no physical evidence to say that today is Wednesday. We all just have to trust that someone has kept count since the first one ever.